Hey, Tony, how many units are enough?
I don't know. How many ads are enough?
We'll find out on today's episode.
So the big question is this: as real estate agents, how do we figure out where and when to cross the finish line of this crazy business? We're told that we need to build a real estate business that supports us after we pay our dues. Well, the truth is that so many agents spend decades looking for the finish line and never find it. And I don't know about you, but we'll be damned if we're doing open houses until we're 70. You have to have passive streams of income in your real estate business if you want to survive. Well, this is exactly what we're talking about right here, right now, on the Passive Real Estate Agent Podcast.
All right. Hey, guys, welcome to today's episode. I'm Anthony Nitz, and over there, depending on where you're looking.
Hey, guys, it's Matt Stewart.
All right. We got some good, fun stuff for you guys today that we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about units. How many units should you own? You don't want to own any units. You want to own them, right?
Yeah, you want to turn your property into a cash cow.
A cash cow. That's right. And you want to turn your real estate business into a cash cow too. And I would tell you one thing that I have figured out over the years is that it is, in real estate, it is more about advertising and marketing than it is about just being out there, right? So a lot of agents, what happens is you get into the business and you go, okay, I'm an agent. What am I supposed to do, right? What are you told? You're told, door knocking. Ugh. I'm sorry. Don't mean to editorialize. If you like door knocking, go for it. But door knocking, you're told to go around and put flyers on people's doorsteps. You're told to cold call 1,000 people. You're told to do all the stuff that is really a trade-off of time for dollars, right? Which, yeah, you know what? That's okay. If you have more time than you have dollars, do those things until you start to get your business. But the problem is it's not a scalable method, right? So like, I'm going to give you an example. So there's a neighborhood that I worked in. It was roughly about 1,200 homes, and like clockwork, every week we went and knocked on most of the doors in that neighborhood. We put a flyer on every single person's door. Now, did it get us business? Yes, it did. But it still only got us some business, right? So like, let's say out of the 1,200, if there were 5 new listings a month, which is actually kind of low, but that's kind of what it was. There's 5 new listings a month. We might get 1. If we were lucky, we would get 2. And the reason is because, there's a lot of competition. Okay. And so, and some months we would get none. So we would go out there every single week. And you can imagine knocking on and dropping off on 1,200 doors. That's a lot. And these are
Grind.
big lots, right? So we're walking. So there's a lot of walking in between. It's not like condos where we go boom, 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 boom. I mean, this is like dropping on the door. The sidewalk going up to the front door was about a half a mile, it felt like. And then coming back and then walking half a mile to the neighbor and then up, you know what I mean? It wasn't that bad, but I'm just exaggerating. But that's what it felt like when you're doing this over and over and over, is like, lots and lots and lots of time. And I learned this thought, or this way of thinking, from a friend of mine. His name is Russel Brunson. Yes, we are friends. I've been to his offices. I've had lunch with him and had dinner with him and hung out with him for a couple of days in Boise, Idaho. So if you know who he is, well, good for you. No, don't worry about it. But Russel Brunson, he helped me to understand. He said, whoever can spend the most ad dollars wins. Okay, the most ad dollars wins. And you go, well, yeah, but if I'm not making money to spend on ads, how do I spend the most money on ads? And the good news is, in real estate, hardly any real estate agents are spending money on ads. I can promise you that. But how do you get to that point where you can spend money? Because we go through this cycle. We go through a cycle where we go, okay, I knock on doors, I drop off flyers, I cold call people. I get some business. So now I get busy handling that file, right? So what do? I get that one listing and I carry that around like a little baby. Go, oh, no, I'm going to take care of you for 3 months straight. I'm going to carry you around everywhere I go. And I'm not joking. I've I've seen agents, I've done it myself, where you've got that one listing file and you keep it with you everywhere you go so you can take care of it. Oh, it's okay. Oh, you need to be fed. Okay, you need this, that. I'm going to take, because man, that thing's got to close and I got to get paid, right? The problem is now what happens is you're so focused on taking care of that baby little file that you're not getting any more business. You're not getting business. And so about, a week, maybe 10 days before escrow closes on this, that you finally found a buyer, you finally got open an escrow, you're about to close, 10 days away, and you go, and then all of a sudden something knocks on your head. Hey, Anthony, you got nothing else in the pipeline. Oh no, right? So now that one closing hopefully will carry you for a while, but then we go back to the scramble. Oh, I gotta go knock on doors and I gotta do this, and right, and the consistency of that it sends a skewed message to your audience. Okay,
Right.
I've had I had not a client, but somebody in the neighborhood. So we went on vacation for 2 weeks. And I might have told the story before, but we went on vacation for 2 weeks after years of just grinding, working hard, oh my gosh, I need a break. I said, we're taking a vacation. And so we didn't hand out our flyers for 2 weeks. When we came back, 2 weeks, guys, 2 weeks. When we came back and I knocked on the one door, one of the ladies in the neighborhood goes, oh, I haven't seen your stuff in months. I thought you were out of the business.
Wow.
You're going to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me, right? So the problem with doing the whole thing of I got a listing or I got a buyer and I'm going to baby this file and now I'm going to do that and I'm busy and now I've got to, scramble and get more business again is a bad way to go. And as such, it also makes us, in my opinion, it makes us not top-notch agents. Okay. By that, what I mean is that if I am scrambling to make a few bucks to pay my bills, then, oh my gosh, am I always making the right decision for the benefit of my clients? Now, I know a lot of people say, I would always put my clients first. Yeah, sure. When your kid's sitting there and they're sick or they need something or there's holes in their shoes and, they're eating the dollar menu because that's all you can afford and they're getting unhealthy because of it. You know what? Human nature says, I'm going to do what I got to do to get my family taken care of. Right. And that sometimes means making decisions that are not in favor of the client that you're supposed to be serving. Okay. I'm not saying it's you, and I'm not, trying to accuse anybody of anything. I'm saying I've seen it so many times, and I don't fault anybody for it. I'm just saying when you're in that position where you're scrambling. So going back to ads, Russel Brunson says, whoever can outspend their competition wins every single time. And what they mean by that is a couple of things. Yes, it's especially in real estate, agents are so bad at staying in front of their audience that they will not, their business isn't consistent. Okay. So now simply by staying in front of your audience, you get those calls. They just by default, they call you. It's inbound marketing. You're paying for it, but it's inbound marketing versus you banging on the phones all day long, to try and coerce that one person into making the deal. No, they're calling you if you're putting the right information out. Okay. But there's a second part of this too. And it is it's a technique called a self-liquidating offer. Okay. One of the big mistakes that agents make is they say, you know what, I want to spend $1,000 a month on ads, because in reality, you get one listing out of that. I mean, absolutely, it makes sense, right?
Right, right.
But if you are running this, if you're kind of going, well, but I need that money to pay for groceries and stuff, and you're not getting your ad cost covered, then you need to, then your chances are you're probably not going to run ads. So with a self-liquidating offer, what that means is that you start running ads that do one of a few things. That when they come to your landing pages, right, you want to capture their information. So chances are you're giving away a free report, or a free, home evaluation, or whatever it is that you're offering for that day. But then on the next page, you have to offer something for sale. So let's say, for example, a $7 guide on staging your home. Okay, $7. Okay, well, wait, it's $7. Okay, well, let's do some math here real quick. So if I am running my ads, and I'm gonna pull up my Google ad account here real quick, because I'm gonna give you a quick overview. And I'll share the screen here in just a second if I'm able to. Let me see what shows up here first. I don't want to give away all my secrets. But where's just the overview? There we go. Okay. Yeah, actually, I'm not going to share the screen here because I've got some stuff here that I'm pretty protective of. Sorry, guys. But I'm going to give you an example. So I have a campaign that's running, and in the last 4 days, I've had 4,260 people see my ads. I've had 180 people click on my ad. And when they click on my ad, they go to my page. I'm obviously trying to capture their lead for, for listings or buyers. And then I send them to a second page that says download your free report, on whatever it is. Like I said, it could be staging. It could be depending on what your client is looking for. If it's a buyer, it's going to be different than a seller, right? And so if I sell that report for $7, I got 180 people click on that. Let's say only, I don't know, 20%. What's 20% of 180? So is that 36, right?
Yeah.
So 36 people times $7. Okay, so 36 times $7, it's $252. So I make back about $252. And for these results, just so you know, I've spent $69 to get 4,260 people, 180 clicks, and I'll probably make about $250 off of that. So I'm making more money advertising than I am spending. Okay. And why that's so important is because now guess what? I can increase that ad budget and get a bigger audience. And if I get the same results, I can increase the audience and get a bigger audience, right?
You're leveraging your time and efforts. So it's not totally dependent on what you do every day.
Absolutely. I let the automation happen. I let the machines do it for me. And the great thing about it is, like, and I'll be honest, I had a call this week where the person called me up and they said, well, can you go show us this property, out in this way far away place and this and that. We've seen your ads and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of went, just after talking to them and kind of got a feel for who they were, and, they didn't really want to give me their qualification information. I go, no, you know what? Hey, I know this guy, Matt Stewart. He'll show you. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll drive from Texas and I'll go over there.
Texas, right. No, but for somebody like that, I'll refer it out. And guess what? So now I'm making money on the referral if they end up closing a deal. The point is with advertising, you can have a much broader reach than you ever can by putting stuff on doors, by cold calling, by doing stuff. But let's talk about ads real quick here. When we're talking about ads, question is, what does your ad say? Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm number one. No, right? Hi. I see these ads from these companies where it just has a picture of the agent and their company name. And it's like, no, what's the compelling offer there? What is the thing that gets them to click on their ads? And there's a variety of things, right? Oops, sorry. There's a variety of things that you can do, and it has to have a good hook to it, right? So think about it from your own perspective, I mean, and Matt, let's talk about this. So because we're going to be talking about how many units should you have? Oh, gee whiz. Sorry, 1 second. Decline. So we're going to talk about, how many units do you have, right? What would be the target for somebody who is looking for units? Are we talking about buyers, or are we talking about those people who are selling the units? Which direction do we want to go for this example?
Well, I would think it's the people buying the units.
Okay, so you want to target investors, right?
Right.
Potential investors, and and I don't know which technique you're going to be talking about today, but it could be anything from, find out how to get 10 units in your first year with very little money down, something like that, right?
Sure. If you can.
So, you look at that and people are going, oh, wow, okay, that's something I'd be interested in doing. How do you you put a big headline, beginning investors,
right?
And whatever the hook is, because if that's your target, then that's your target. Now, the big mistake you can make is if you go, all investors, click on my link, right? No, you want to niche it down. You want to narrow it down to specific audiences. And that means if you have 10 different campaigns running, so you've got beginning investors, apartment investors, commercial investors, single family home investors, fix and flip investors, right? So you have different campaigns that are running, or even within the same campaign, and I'm getting technical now, but even within the same campaign, you can have multiple different ad groups targeted to those different audiences, or even to the same audience, so that when that person finally sees the one that resonates with them, they go, oh, click. And now they come over there and they get their free report, and then they pay the $7 for the $7 report or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. And pay for your advertising for you. So your ads are paid for when you use kind of these techniques. Do you guys get that? Does that make sense, Matt?
Well, I mean, you're using, instead of a shotgun approach where you're just spraying a big area, you narrow it down so that you're focusing on a certain niche, and then you can get more qualified people responding to your ad.
Right, but do you get the idea about having your ads paid for by making other things available? Because as real estate agents, what do? We go, fill out my form to get a free home valuation, and it stops there.
Right.
Right. But by adding just that one extra thing, that $7 report, and there's so many places to get free stuff, and people will pay for it. $7. It's only $7.
I was going to say that's you're pricing it so that it's not like, well, I'm not spending $1 million there. I'm $7. Yeah, I got $7. Here you go.
And odds of them calling you back and going, I want my $7 back. Great. I'd like to bring it to you. Can we come and take a look at your house? You're planning on selling. Okay, great. That's a listing call. You know what I mean? And I'll bring you $7 right now. So the self-liquidating offer. So if you want to learn about that technique, we'll put a link on the website. You can get this book. You can actually get this book from RussellBrunson.com Secrets. You can get it he gives it away for free. For free. All you do is just pay for the shipping on it. I think it's like $8 or $9 for the shipping on it. And you can see I've got all my little tabs on here
from, notes and things like that I've made in that book, as well as some of his other books that he has. Very much worth it. Very much worth reading that if you want to start looking at online marketing in your business. So
I think I'm going to order that book myself. It just seems like that's where we go to market now. It's just because now everybody can do that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, everybody is everybody's online, but you've got to figure out how to put a message out there that resonates with people, as opposed to just, a picture of a real estate agent with their company logo next to them. Give me a break, so anyway, but we need to move on here. Let's talk about some units, man. Hey, Matt, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I want to be a bazillionaire. How many units do I need?
What are you comfortable starting with? Okay. And
Oh
then
my gosh. See, now you want money, right?
Yeah, I want all of your money. How it works is you got to really think about where you're comfortable being. Some people it's an intimidating thing getting into a multi-unit situation. Some people, maybe they want to start with just a single house. Okay, that's one strategy. But what you'll realize is as you scale it, the larger you go, that's what you need to do to actually be able to retire. So once you get comfortable and you realize and you get your first deal, I don't care if it's 5 units, I don't care if it's 20 units. Every other deal after that is going to be similar on how the transaction takes place. So if you think, each door I own is going to bring in anywhere from $50 to $100 worth of cash flow in your pocket after all the expenses are done. That's money that you get to keep. So if you think about, okay, $50 to $100 per door, how many doors do you need to get to your financial goal?
And don't use $50 or $100 as your only basis. It could be more than that, right?
Well, theoretically,
but
just on an average, what I've been told is that generally speaking, with apartments, that's the range of cash flow once it's done. And it can go up or down depending on the market that your apartment's in. So obviously, the ones that are hotter and then are more emerging markets, they're going to get more money. But yeah, so if you're wanting to make $100,000 a year, then you need something like 85 doors, or more or less. So that's how that works. And then you can go from there if you really want to have a legacy type of thing where you're having $400 or $500 doors. And then you can,
And it doesn't depend on what the market is though too, because like out here in California, I mean, there, one of my clients, they have a 450 square foot 1-bedroom unit that they're renting for $1,650 a month.
Right.
Holy smokes, versus, in other parts of the country where, the rent's going to be, for that same thing is going to be $500 a month.
And what you do is when you're looking at a property, you're underwriting it. What you're doing is you're looking at the expenses, looking at the rents, and you're finding out what the profit margin is. Are there things that you can do to increase that profit margin? Can the rents go up? Can you fill more of the vacancies? Are there other expenses that can go down? And that's going to be the difference between the 50 and the 100. And then you can decide how many units are appropriate for you based on your goals.
So it's about setting a plan and really kind of look. It's like whether I'm training agents, whether I'm training kids on the sports field, whether I'm training my dog. You got to know what the end goal is before you actually begin, right?
Your money is made at the time of purchase. If you purchase and you pay too much, it's going to be a lot harder to have a profit margin. But if you buy it right and you buy at the right price and you take other steps, then you can really do quite well.
And if you know at the end, my goal is, like you said, I want to make $100,000 a year. Or if you're a first-time investor, I want to make, I just want to make a profit of $5,000 for the year.
Right.
For this time around. If you know what that is, that's when you back into it and go, okay, gosh, based on that, I should probably be looking at a 9-unit building, or
Right.
I should be looking at something like that's going to accomplish that goal. Because your single family residence, if you're in the area where it's only $50 or $100 a month profit that you're making,
Mhm.
You're probably not, you're not going to make that. You're going to make $1,200,
Right. Right.
So.
And the idea is having that vision at the end game allows you to take certain steps to get to that goal, because now you have a path, a very distinct path to go and walk down, and it becomes easier to follow.
Right. So they're sitting there in their living room right now, Matt, and they're going, you know what? I need to buy some property. I need to buy something. They got a little bit of cash in the bank. They're ready to get going. What's the first thing that they need to do?
They need to decide where they want to invest.
Okay.
A lot of people are intimidated by going out of their backyard. If you're in Southern California, it's very tough to be profitable, but there are deals to be found in that area. You're going to pay more in that market. But if you are open to looking at other markets, there are in any given day, there's about 20 to 30 markets in America that are emerging. If you are from our previous show, there are markets that are becoming hot seats for growth, and there's companies moving to that area, causing more demand. So being able to look at that, being able to find out where those places are going to be key. So you're going to have a team of people around you, broker relationships, things like that, where you can find out. Maybe they can help you suggest markets that are going to be better than others. But you don't have to have an emerging market to be profitable. You can have a nice, stable property in a lot of places, but you just want to do your homework and find out, where is a good place. And that should probably be more of a topic that we revisit again. I know we talked about emerging markets a little bit more detail, but that's probably something we can talk about again in the future. Not just, talking to the government agency about like where's the path of progress. There's a lot more that we can probably do and share with our customers or listeners.
Yeah, that'd be great for upcoming. I've got a friend who lives about 1.5 miles from me, very, very good friend, and he owns I want to say I think he's up to 35 properties now. He buys single family residence and rehabs and rents them out, and not a single one of them is in his backyard.
Right.
We live in Southern California. All of his properties are in Kentucky, Tennessee, Pennsylvania.
Sure.
I think some in Texas. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting my states. Oh my God. But some, yeah. So it's like all eastern half of the country.
Right.
And he's never even lived there,
Yeah, he's got people in those areas that he's built relationships with that are trustworthy to him.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They're helping him. It's sort of like the advertising. He's leveraging those relationships to help him find a good property.
And that's, that is key to have the right relationships in those areas, and also just having a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
Look, you don't go into anything without having a backup plan in case things don't work, right?
Right.
He might have, tenants might move out on him. Well, he's confident in that he knows that he has resources to back him up if, things don't work. So, there's strategies that you can use to go out there and invest in real estate with no money down, no money out of your pocket whatsoever. But you got to get confident in using those strategies so you don't. Couple of things. Number one,
you don't lose your shirt. Number two, you don't make a mistake and find yourself sitting in a courtroom somewhere. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
yeah, the idea is to try to educate yourself so that you are understanding what those potential errors are. Education is so important. Like, I've been doing multifamily stuff since 2004, but I have a coach, and that coach is guiding me and is helping me, with certain things, so that I'm probably going to still make certain mistakes once in a while. But the idea is now, if I can mitigate that mistake by having good qualified people on my side, then maybe I can avoid a mistake. Or if I do make a mistake, it's not as bad as it could have been had I been totally on my own.
Right.
You want good people.
Tony Robbins said it himself. Said, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? Somebody else has already done it. Just go find them and replicate what they're doing.
That's right.
Just replicate what they're doing. They've done it. They've made the mistakes. They've, had to go through the hurdles. Go do that. It's the same thing in your real estate business. It's the same in your investing business. It's the same thing in life, with marriage, with relationships, with, you want to become the best, race car driver. You go find somebody who's the best race car driver. Right. Tell them, show me how to be the best race car driver.
If you can find someone with the heart of a teacher, they're going to be happy to share what they know with you.
Exactly. So, all right, cool. Anything else, Matt?
Oh gosh, would love to hear questions. We're still working on our website a little bit, but we're going to have an opportunity for people to send in questions. Please let us know if there's something that we talked about that you want to know more about, or maybe it's something you would like to hear about that we haven't talked about. Please put the comments on our website, and we will read them and do what we can to put it on the podcast.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for being here and being part of this. We hope the information is helpful, and like Matt said, and we will catch you on the next episode. Take care.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Thanks so much for listening to the Passive Real Estate Agent Podcast. Hey, do us a favor and subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening to us right now. Don't forget the likes and the comments. We always appreciate it. And, it really helps others to find this valuable information. Now, look, there's something that both Matt and I and several of our guests have discovered that has radically changed our real estate job into a truly passive income. And it's a little controversial, and that's why we really don't discuss it on the show. But we'd like to invite those truly entrepreneurial individuals to learn more. Just visit thepassiverealestateagent.com and join one of our upcoming webinars. You'll thank yourself later that you did. Thanks again so much for listening. Take care.